Hello everyone, this one is an old typewriter from 1915, the Typo Model B. First of all, you can wonder why to call a typewriter typo, that in English means error of typing. It seems one of the most unlucky names in the history of typewriters, similar to the name of this typewriter. In this case, the reason is that it's a French typewriter, and typo in French means typography. Apparently, they didn't care too much about exporting their typewriters in England. It's my third French typewriter. The Ductile Model 2 from 1895 and the MAP Model 3 from 1922. It was produced by the company Manufacture Française d'Armes and Cycles of Saint-Étienne. It was the French version of the English typewriter Imperial Visible Model B. Here there is the name Typo and a logo MF, meaning Manufacture Française or Manu France. It was a company producing firearms and bicycles, and could seem strange, but it was very common that companies with experience in mechanics produced army, bicycles, sewing machine, and everything had to do with mechanics. Some examples are Remington, that was an army producer, Adler and Fox produced bicycles, Ducati produced calculators, Seidel and Naumann produced sewing machines, etc. The company Manu France has an interesting story. It was the first French mail order company, selling their product by catalog. In 1890, they sent 300,000 free catalogs. They also sold a product made by third-party manufacturers, a kind of Amazon, but in 1800s. Originally, to carry the typewriter, there was this suitcase. Sadly, it wasn't so resistant to survive 110 years, so I don't have it. It could be considered a kind of portable typewriter, but in general, it's not a very liked typewriter, given its dimensions. But the manufacturer was happy of this, because he said that the materials used have been chosen to ensure a good quality and more durability. There are two handles on the sides to move it. Maximum speed was 90 strokes per minute. It has the visible writing. At those times, there were still some typewriters that didn't allow to see what you wrote. I think secretaries were happy to use these new typewriters. There is a quite uncommon layout of the keyboard, this one. This keyboard layout was invented by Albert Navarre in 1907, based on the frequency of the use of letters in the French language. However, the secretaries had already been using QWERTY layout and its variations for 15 years and didn't want to change. So this keyboard's layout failed. This is the backspace. And the spacebar in metal. I like its circular supports. These shift buttons are on both sides of the keyboard. This one on the right is if you have to write only one capital letter. This on the left is permanent. In every button there are 3 symbols, so you can have 90 characters in a little space. Also, every typing bar must carry 3 typefaces instead of 2. But you need 2 shift positions instead of 1. In normal position you write the minus rules. In the first position you write the capital letters. And in the third position you write the symbols and numbers. I think it's not a bad idea, but in the end the single shift prevailed and this double shift disappeared. Probably because it's more simple to use if you write fast. The movement of the typing bars of the typewriter had a simple design, ensuring less wearing of the mechanical parts, so more durability. Also, it was less noisy than other typewriters. Here there is the ribbon. This rod is for reversing the direction of the ribbon. It allows also the use of a bicolor ribbon. You can select the color with this lever. To move the carriage back and forth, you can use this lever. In some typewriters of that period, to move the carriage to the right, you had to press the spacebar. In this typewriter, it's not necessary. This is the interline lever. And with the screw, you set the number of interlines. This is a line adjuster. It is used to center a line in a form, or when you insert again a paper and you want to continue on the same row. This lever helps to keep the paper in place, but when you insert the paper you have to raise it. On the right there is the paper release lever to adjust the paper. These are the margins. You can regulate them directly on this bar. The margins are connected to the paper bale. There are some rollers to keep the paper pressed against the roller. I like the particulars of all the mechanical parts. The Typo Model 2 is a fascinating piece of office technology history. It was a typewriter designed for hard work. It's a fully equipped typewriter with good speed, portability, and more silent than the average typewriter. It's simple, so it costs less to repair or maintain. But it's built with sturdy material, so it's durable. So I think it was a good choice 100 years ago. Have a nice day.